Lithosphere. Meaning and importance. The outermost solid layer of the Earth is known as lithosphere. This layer is very thick in continents and quite thin under the seafloor. The lithosphere consists of rocks, minerals, soils, etc. Life exists on this layer with the help of the atmosphere and the hydrosphere. Continents are parts of the lithosphere where different landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. are found. Earth's interior. The Earth's interior is classified into three main layers. They are the crust, the core, and the mantle. The crust. The crust is the uppermost layer of the Earth, rich in silica, aluminium, and magnesium. The depth of this layer is around 60 kilometers from the surface. The mantle. The mantle is the second and the middle layer of the Earth. The depth of this layer is up to 2,900 kilometers from the surface. The materials are in semi liquid or partially molten state, which is called magma. The mantle has two parts. Upper mantle or the asthenosphere is partially in a molten condition. Lower mantle or the mesosphere in solid condition. The core is the innermost layer of the Earth. The depth of this layer is up to 6,371 kilometers from the surface. The most important materials of the core are nickel and ferrous, so it is known as knife. The core is divided into two sub-layers. The outer core is known as the molten core, where the materials are in liquid and in molten form. The inner core is known as solid core. Rocks. Rocks are the solid inorganic substances that are found in the crust of the earth. They are aggregates of minerals. Rocks are formed due to various natural processes. On the basis of mode of formation, rocks are classified into three types. They are igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks. The word igneous means fire, derived from the Latin word ignis or Sanskrit word agni. Igneous rocks are those rocks which have been formed by the cooling of molten matter of the earth. Igneous rocks were the first to be formed, therefore, they are also called primary rocks. Types of igneous rocks: intrusive and extrusive. Intrusive igneous rocks. When the molten materials of the Earth's interior do not reach the Earth's surface, they cool and solidify below the surface, are called loss of property and called intrusive igneous rocks. These rocks are made of large crystals and are found at great depth inside the Earth. For example, granite. Extrusive igneous rocks. Rocks formed by the solidification of magma above the Earth's surface are called extrusive igneous rocks. These rocks are generally fine grained or glassy because lava after reaching the surface of the earth cools and solidifies quickly. For example, basalt. Sedimentary rocks. The sedimentary rocks are formed after the disintegration of igneous rocks. Therefore, they are called secondary rocks. These rocks are also called aqueous rocks because they are formed in the water bodies like lake, sea, and ocean beds. Sedimentary rocks. The word sedimentary is derived from a Latin word sedimentum, which means settling down. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the agency of water, wind, and ice. These agents break and erode the igneous rocks, transport those broken fragments, and deposit them at certain places. The deposit of these materials often occurs in the form of layers or strata. Therefore, sedimentary rocks are called stratified rocks. Mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. Rocks built up by fragments of pre existing rocks which have been produced by the process of weathering and erosion, for example, sandstone. Organically formed sedimentary rocks. Organic sediments are those derived by the accumulation of remains of organisms such as shells of marine organisms, remains of plants and animals, for example, limestone. Chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Chemical sediments are commonly formed by the process of evaporation of water containing salts in solutions. For example, rock salt. Metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are those which are formed by the process of metamorphism or alteration of pre existing rocks. Metamorphism means change of form which may be physical or chemical or both by the influence of heat and pressure. Metamorphic rocks are the hardest rocks on the earth. These rocks supply precious stones, for example, sapphire. Forces of the Earth's crust. The Earth has two important forces that change the face of the Earth. They are internal forces and external forces. Internal forces. These are the forces which originate inside the crust and influence the surface features of the Earth. For example, volcanoes, earthquakes, etc. The internal forces are also called endogenic forces. Volcanoes. A volcano is a vent or a narrow opening in the Earth's crust connected by a pipe to an underlying magma chamber, through which magma, rock fragments, lava, ash, steam, flames, and other gases are emitted from the interior of the Earth. A passage in the Earth's crust through which magma and other volcanic materials are ejected is called vent. The funnel shaped hollow at the top of the cone of a volcano is called crater. A large basin shaped crater bounded by steep sides is known as caldera. Types of volcanoes: active volcano, dormant volcano, and extinct volcano. Active volcanoes, which constantly eject lava, gases, ashes, etc., are known as active volcanoes. There are about 600 active volcanoes in the world. For example, Mount Stromboli and Mount Etna in Italy. Dormant volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes are those which have erupted in the past and are likely to erupt again but have remained inactive for fairly long periods. For example, Mount Vesuvius in Italy. Extinct volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes are those which were active in the remote geological periods. These are not likely to be active once again. For example, Arthur's Seat in Scotland. Volcanic materials. The materials ejecting out from the volcanoes are of three types: solid, volcanic bombs, cinders, scoria, pumice, dust, and ash; liquid, lava; gases, sulfur, hydrogen, carbon dioxide. Distribution of volcanoes. Volcanoes occur in many regions of the world, including islands, young mountain ranges, and plateaus of the continents. Most important regions are the Circum-Pacific Belt or Pacific Ring of Fire, coastal margins of the Pacific Ocean consisting of Philippines, Japan, USA, Central America, South America, etc. Earthquake. Earthquake is a shock or series of shocks or tremors due to a sudden movement of crustal rocks generated within the crust or mantle. The point of origin of the earthquake in the Earth's crust is called seismic focus or hypocenter. The point on the Earth's surface vertically above the seismic focus is called the epicenter. The scientific study of earthquakes is called seismology. The origin, time, velocity, and direction of seismic waves are recorded by an instrument known as seismograph. Causes of earthquakes. Plate tectonics. The Earth's crust consists of many major and minor plates. These plates are not stationary. The plate boundaries are dynamic places and are the primary location of the Earth activity. Volcanic eruptions. Volcanic earthquakes are caused by gas explosion. Faulting. A fault consists of a fracture in a rock along with a great deal of displacement takes place. Earthquakes occur when the movement of plates take place. Man-made factors. Over interaction of man with nature is also one of the main causes of the occurrence of many of the earthquakes. The extraction of minerals, deep underground minings, huge dams and reservoirs, nuclear tests, etc. Effects. The earthquakes are very dangerous and destructive. They cause large scale deaths, loss of property, landslides, flash floods, damage to bridges, roads, railway lines, etc. Tsunami. Tsunami is a large sea wave occasionally experienced along the coast of Japan and in other regions caused by an underwater earthquake. In Japanese language, tsunami means harbor waves. Now let's learn what are the external forces. The important forces are temperature, wind, rainfall, snowfall, river, glacier, etc. These forces act on the surface of the earth and constantly change its features. Weathering. Weathering is the wearing away or breaking down or gradual disintegration of rocks by agents present in the atmosphere. The types of weathering: mechanical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. Chemical weathering is mainly brought about by the action of substances dissolved in rainwater. This type of weathering results in changing the composition of minerals present in the rocks. There are four types of chemical weathering: they are oxidation, carbonation, hydration, and solution. Mechanical weathering. When the rock is broken and disintegrated without any chemical alteration, the process is called physical weathering or mechanical weathering. The important process of mechanical weathering are granular disintegration, block disintegration, and exploitation. The agents of mechanical weathering are temperature, wind, frost, etc. Chemical weathering. Hydration. Hydration is a process by which some minerals in crystalline form absorb water and become a powdery mass. Feldspar is a common rock forming crystalline mineral. Solution. When the rain falls on the surface of the land, rainwater dissolves soluble minerals present in the rock. Oxidation. In this type of chemical weathering, oxygen dissolves in the water, reacts with certain minerals, especially iron, to form oxides. Carbonation. When the rainwater falls on the limestone rocks, the calcium carbonate present in the rock absorbs carbon dioxide from rainwater and becomes calcium bicarbonate. Denudation. Agents of denudation. Denudation is the action of changing landscape or changing the surface of the earth by various natural agents such as rivers, glaciers, underground water, wind, sea waves, etc. The work of these natural agents are erosion, transportation, and deposition. These processes produce distinct relief features. Biological weathering. Living organisms like plants, animals, and human beings play a role in one way or the other in the weathering of rocks. This type of weathering includes both physical and chemical weathering. River. A mass of fresh water flowing from its source to mouth along a definite course is called river. The river is the most prominent agent of denudation. The place where a river takes its birth is called source, and mouth is the point where it meets sea or ocean. Tributaries are the feeders or small streams which supply water to river along its course. The point where tributary joins the main river is called confluence. Course of the river. The course of a river from its source to mouth is divided into three stages. These stages are upper course, middle course, and lower course. The upper course. Vertical erosion is most common due to steep slopes leading to deepening of valleys, resulting in the formation of gorges, canyons, V shaped valleys, waterfalls. The middle course. In the middle course, the river path has a moderate slope and velocity is less than that in the upper course. The volume of water increases when many tributaries join the main river. The main work of the river in this stage is transportation of sediments and little deposition. The important landforms in this stage are alluvial fans and meanders. The lower course. In this stage, the slope of the river course is very minimum. The volume of river water is more and deposition is the main work of the river. The main important landforms in this course are floodplains, natural reefs, oxbow lakes, deltas. Glaciers. Glaciers are slowly moving, compacted mass of ice and snow found in the high mountains and polar regions. The mass of ice or snow is pulled down by its weight and due to the force of gravity. Glacier is an agent of denudation, performs the work of erosion, transportation, and deposition. The erosional work of glacier is mainly side cutting. The landforms resulting by this are horn, arete, U-shaped valleys, hanging valleys, rock steeps, etc. Types of glaciers. Glaciers are divided into two types: continental glacier and mountain glacier. Continental glacier. Continental glaciers are extensive ice sheets found in polar regions, example Greenland. Mountain or alpine or valley glacier. The glaciers found in the polar regions are called mountain glaciers. Underground water. Underground water is a subsoil water found on an account of percolation or seepage of water into the ground. The underground water which seeps into the ground passes through the various layers of rocks. The rocks which allow the water to percolate is called pervious or porous rocks, and the rocks which do not allow the water inside are called impervious or non-porous rocks. The porous rock beds which hold large amount of underground water are called cuviers. Erosion by underground water. Erosion by groundwater. Caves. Caves are one of the types of landforms created by groundwater erosion. Working slowly over many years, groundwater travels along small cracks. The water dissolves and carries away the solid rock. They gradually enlarge the cracks eventually. An erosion by groundwater continues, the ceiling of cave may collapse. The rock and soil above it sink into the ground. This forms a sinkhole on the surface. Some sinkholes are the large enough to swallow up a home or several homes in a neighborhood. Types of springs. The pervious rocks allows and holds water and forms springs. A spring is a place where the underground water comes out naturally. Perennial spring, intermittent springs, hot springs, geyser and artesian wells. Perennial spring. It is a spring through which water comes out continuously. Intermittent springs. These are the springs through which water comes out intermittently and they are also called periodic spring. Hot spring. Whenever warm or hot water comes out naturally, it is called hot spring or thermal spring. They are usually found near the volcanic regions. Geyser. Geysers throw a jet of hot water and steam into the air at regular or irregular intervals. Example, Old Faithful in Yellowstone National Park of USA. Artesian wells. When underground water is stored in a basin shaped layer between two non porous rocks, the water cannot come out naturally. If an artificial hole is made to the porous rock, the water comes out like a fountain. These are called artesian wells. These wells are common in Australia. The depositional landforms are called sand dunes. The depositional landforms are sand dunes, longitudinal sand dunes, bergschanas, and loess deposits. Bergschanas are semicircular crescent shaped sand deposits, most common in the deserts. Wind. The denudation work of the wind is common in the arid or desert regions. When the winds of high velocity blow over desert areas, they erode, transport, and deposit materials to produce different landforms. The important landforms associated with the erosional work of the wind are rock pedestals, mushroom rock, Inselberg. Sea waves. The important landforms associated with sea waves are cliff, sea cave, sea stack, sea arch, headland, sandbars, beaches, etc. Sea waves. Like all other sea waves are also an important exogenic agent of denudation. Sea waves are the regular undulation of water on the sea or ocean. The work of the sea wave is significant along the seashore or coast.